Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where if you're wondering what's going on with our manpower here, yeah, I may have used this thing going on here a little bit. We're very short on manpower. Very, very short on manpower, no doubt about that. So we're going to proceed onward here, and this is fine. I mean, this manpower will go away very quickly. Yeah, there it goes, most of it. And we're going to need a lot more than this. Like, we're still short 250,000 almost. Like 225,000. It's a lot. There's a whole lot. But we're going to be able to push up over here absolutely no problem. I'm not expecting there to be any issues out here. I don't believe it's possible for them to get any supplies over here except for possible airlift supplies. And yeah, there's our manpower just gone. That's not shocking. So that's completely okay. We do have a couple more units in training right now, but I want to get this area over here completely eliminated. So that should not be any major issues. Like I said, I don't believe it's possible for them to get any form of supplies out over here other than airdropped. And airdropped is just... Actually, I haven't tried airdropped with the new logistics system. The old system, airdropped, was way too inefficient to supply something like this. So I'm guessing that's the case here as well. So that should be reasonably fine. And yeah, we'll just push in here, no problem. We apparently... Did we take this? It looks like it. But it's still flagged as owned by the Germans. Odd. Regardless, this is impassable here, and so it doesn't really matter. I'm guessing it's just some awkwardness with the way that this is coded, is my current theory. But we're going to push in over here, and I do want these guys to fairly aggressively attack, actually. Like, just get in here. We're going to get that filled in. And yeah, our garrisons are missing manpower. That's not shocking. Apparently we're attacking on this front, which makes sense, actually. Because I told the whole army to aggressively attack. I don't want these guys to aggressively attack. Only these guys. Cool. So we're going to attack over here, and I think that we'll have no real problem pushing them out of here, and then we'll redirect over this way. We're going to look to get a shorter front line over here. In fact, we can immediately set up an offensive line of being ideally like up here, but realistically, for our first offensive line here, I'd like it to be... Oh, I don't like the shape of this province. I guess kind of like this, although ideally it would be kind of like that. Okay, and we'll get going on that. We are winning across this front for right now. So we might grab a little bit of territory over here. I want both of these to just full-on come in here. This is going to go down to a single province. There's no point in moving around over here other than just directly heading in. So there we go. And yeah, we're going to have no problem whatsoever pushing down over this way. I'm going to tell, like, this single tank unit to push up over here. Cool. So all of these guys will get stack wiped. There will be no problem here whatsoever. And I want to check in on the Germans in terms of their troop count at this point. So they have 18,000 manpower. That's more than we have right now, although that was just a month tick right there. So they jumped up to 72,000. So we now know they had 18k before. Assuming they didn't spend any, we know that they have 72 minus 18, 54,000 that they're generating per month. Okay. We can also see that our top end of the estimate of their number of divisions is down to 730. Cool. I want to check in on the status of some of these invasions up here. It's probably easier to see in faction map mode. Okay, we're seeing some pretty major success over here. England is continuing to be conquered. We're still surviving in a lot of these areas. And we're, of course, pushing in over here. So that's great. We're going to have them wiped out over this way. Oh wait, they can move through here. For some reason I was thinking that these guys had pushed up all the way up to here. I think they had, but they lost this. Okay. Well, we're going to have to continue to push over this way then. Unless these guys get wiped out by the Americans here, which would be awfully nice. We'll see if that ends up happening. But I'm going to want to select these guys. And we're just going to push them up to, like, here? What does that fill-in look like? Does that grab the areas to the south? Kind of no, but I would like the French Commune to group up over there. Okay, all of these guys can just come up here and attack. This is fine. They'll get stack wipes there. They have nowhere to retreat to. So, there we go. We only need the one unit over here, so these guys can come on down. We don't need these guys here either. We're going to attack over here. If Free France ends up, or rather the French Commune ends up getting this, then that's okay. But it looks like they stopped their attack there, so I think that we'll end up getting that. As far as this front goes over here, I would like to shorten this. But for the moment, it seems reasonably okay. So we're just going to keep trying to push through here. Yeah, this seems quite okay. We have manpower right now. Why do we have manpower right now? We still need like 200k. Maybe this will go away on the day tick? Yeah, some went away there. Okay, now it's gone. Cool. So it must just be logistics issues. That's not hugely shocking. Speaking of which, we need to run a railway from here out to this victory point. That'll be a top priority, and we'll get that underway. We're going to need logistics out over this way for sure. So that'll be fine. We've got the Germans very much on the run on this eastern, or rather this western front over here. On the eastern front, things are a little bit more bogged down. I want to take a look here. Supply-wise, supplies are looking good. So I don't think that'll be an issue on this front. Supplies are actually looking quite good. We're just going to keep cautiously attacking over here and seeing if we can dislodge the Germans from a few of these locations. I'm not too concerned about it right now, though. What I really want to see is us taking this location. But if we get cut off here, and this goes to the French Commune, then that's okay. We can leave this to the Americans and the French, and we can repurpose these guys over to this front. So either way, it's fine. As it currently sits, we're going to be attacking up over this way and seeing if we can get some territory up here. Because I would not mind getting more monthly growth, but I don't think the population in this region is particularly high. So that's definitely a bit of a concern. $31 million in this state, but we don't control most of it. Okay. So far, so good. This all looks pretty decent. Now, I'd definitely like to take control of this location. Wait, this is not a crossing in this game, is it? We would have to naval invade over here, I think. Makes sense. That does make sense. Okay. So for the moment, we're just chilling here. Again, if the US or the French end up taking one of these locations, that's okay. I'm not too upset about that. And in fact, I believe that's happening right now. So if that ends up happening, we'll just delete this and we'll move these guys over to this front. And that should be reasonably fine. We have a lack of supplies over here for the moment, but I'm interested in seeing... They gave it to us. Now that's intriguing. So here's the thing. I'm going to cut this down to one tank and, actually, one tank and 3 infantry units. So something kind of like this. Because of supplies, this will have to do. The rest of these are going to get assigned over to this order. And they'll head on over there. And we can order them to get started. They need to get out of there and stop drawing supplies. Cool. So this is currently 8 divisions. I intended for this to be much smaller. Right, I did this wrong. Okay, so we need to have 1, 2, 3. These 4 are going to come over to here. There we go. That's more like it. And get on over here. Go ahead and advance. Okay, so they're out of there. These 4 divisions here are going to advance up this way. And eventually we're going to need a railway connecting over here as well. So we'll get that started. That section of railway. Cool. So these guys are going to be pulling back soon enough. We definitely don't need the kind of numbers that we have here, especially with these American troops here. I'm surprised they gave this to us, though. I'm very surprised about that. Interesting. Anyway, we're going to proceed here. If the Americans happen to take this and give that over to France, that's fine. It's completely whatever. We do not want these divisions down here. We want them to be... I want to select them and assign them here. We don't want that. Cool. There we go. So we can see our fill-in here is slightly awkward, but it should be reasonably okay. The Americans are continuing to press out over this way. Fascinating. And they got pushed back. Okay. Well, our status on our railroad here is it'll be a while. So that's reasonably fine. And we are, of course, working on a lot of infrastructure down over here. And we can queue up even more, which I'll go ahead and do. There we go. But that will, of course, all be down below our railroad construction. Cool. So as far as supplies here go, it's not great, but we've seen better. There's actually a supply hub here. Fascinating. So if we connect that in like that, that'll get us good supplies out in this area. Okay. So once that happens, these guys will start to advance. But we will need to get those railroads online, and they will be done, I think I want to prioritize like so. So this railroad finishes as soon as possible. 7 July currently, and then 19 June? 8 July, okay. 19 June and 30 May. Yeah, that should be fine. So we'll get that going, and our supplies will improve dramatically out in this area. Fantastic. Let's check in real quick on our tank production. We are short on steel right now. Okay. We should definitely get a little bit more steel, so we're no longer short on our tank production. We are still in a deficit for our tanks, but it's improved a lot. We're only needing 364 at this point. 12.81 per day. I like it. Cool. And that's continuing to improve. So this offensive is going to be stalled a little bit here until we can manage to get our railway networks built. That'll be done in about a month and a half or so. So that's reasonably fine. I'm going to queue up these anti-air systems, but I'm keeping them at the bottom of the list. There we go. Okay, so we can see our railway network is stretching its way over. It has not arrived here yet, but it's very, very close. And we're building it in stages here. So this one will be done on 1 June. All good. And yeah, we have this all connected up like so. So this railway line will be done very shortly. We'll have a tiny amount there. The Xinjiang Independent Republic has claimed Indochina. Okay. I'm noticing that this is not connected. And I'm thinking that that's part of this rail line. I think. That'll be done on 21 June. But we're mostly waiting for this rail line to connect in here. Cool. So 10 July on that. Fantastic. 22 June here. Let's check in on the status of this front. It's pretty stalled out, and honestly, given the terrain down here, that's not shocking to me. One thing we could try to do instead of what we have going on here is we could try to punch to the sea over this way. Bypassing this mountainous region here and trying to cut them off. We can see how that ends up going. Okay, it's mediocre. But it's probably a better plan, anyway. We're short on steel again. Okay, that was fast. We're definitely going to grab some from the US here. There we go. Cool. So we're continuing to work on our infrastructure here, of course, as well as our logistics network, which our logistics network will be done over here quite soon, really. We can see this is now connected by at least a level 1 railroad. Unfortunately, this over here is not yet. That should be done quite soon, though. This will be done now 11 July. That timetable is slipping a little bit. But just a level 1 railroad to this victory point would be very, very nice. So we'll get that underway. And that should be finishing up here soon-ish. I think we're taking this up to a higher level railroad next. The way it seems to work is it builds it, and then it upgrades it, and then it builds the next one. I would actually prefer if it built it level 1, and then upgraded the whole thing to level 2, and then to level 3, and then level so on and so forth. It would be a bit better. You can do that manually, but as far as I know, there's not an automatic way to do that. Because I'd like to have at least some supply flow here. Okay, so this railway is now done. That's beautiful. We just need this connection to come in. And there it is. So we now have at least some rail connection out over to this supply hub. That's beautiful. It's a big supply bottleneck still, to be clear. But that's okay. We do have this division, which is going to go into our reserve force. Cool. Looks like we have gained a little bit of ground over here on our other front. That's good. I'm going to change this order, actually. I want it to be an offensive line, like, up here instead. Man, I don't like that. Maybe just a spearhead order? But we can't do that with army groups. So I guess for the time being, we'll just try to take, say, this position. What is this arrow? I'm sorry, what? That's not what I'm going for. That's for sure. Let's try it over here instead. Okay. Looks like if we do this, it understands what I'm trying to do. That's close enough. So we'll go ahead and execute that. Cool. And we almost have our rail network done over here. So we're definitely... This is our bottleneck right here, for sure. We're getting that leveled up, though, and that won't take too much longer. That'll be done on 12 July. So I'm hoping that these guys will advance up here. They're currently not advancing because it would require more supplies than we have access to. Fair enough. But that will improve soon. The supply hub exists, and I think we're going to get started moving up over here. Okay. We're going to have supply issues up here due to not having full control of the state, no matter how we slice it. But that's okay. So we're going to get our own railroad built here. That's completely fine. How's this offensive going? Poorly is the answer. I'm going to move this infantry unit over to reinforce this. Because we're getting pushed back over here, and we definitely don't want that. Okay, we're continuing to get pushed back. They have a pretty good concentration of troops here. Okay. I want to move these guys in, and I want these to assist in the attack. Okay. Looks good. We've pushed them out of here. These guys are going to come on in. They're moving reinforcements in, but I think we'll be okay. Out on this front here, we've started to attack over here. That's good. Our supplies are grim, that's for sure. But we're working on upgrading this railroad. Let's see here. Railroad. 13 July? Cool. So that'll be done reasonably soon. This attack isn't going to succeed. But that's fine. It doesn't have to. I just want to get that railroad done for the time being. They pushed us back out over here. So we're going to attack them again. And push them back out of here again. Cool. I do not want this front to be longer like this. This is a much better position for us to hold. We may want to consider digging into this position, actually. It's a possibility. I do like how we took this victory point. That's pretty good. We could consider connecting this up to our rail network down here. So building it kind of like this. And I think that's not a terrible idea. There's a supply hub there. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So we're going to end up taking this back. And that's exactly what we want. And they're going to take it back again. We have some units heading over. Get in here. Okay. Get in here. Okay. I want this tank unit to attack as well. Okay. We are winning this for now. How long can they keep this up is the question. We're not really able to take and hold this location. It's just kind of going back and forth for both of us. Okay. There we go. So we're going to have these guys come on in, and these guys come on in. I want to hold this position, if at all possible. We're bringing in reinforcements, but we're already retreating. And these guys decided to stop. No, get in here. We want to hold this. Now we're just trickling in. Okay. Very awkward. Yeah, very awkward indeed. Neither side, it seems, is really capable of holding this. By the time we get there, our troops are exhausted. We're bringing this tank unit over. Once it arrives, we'll attack again. With all of our forces here. So we have a lot of units here that are pretty exhausted. There's no doubt about that. And their units are not anywhere near as exhausted. That's for sure. They're retreating, but they're already sending in reinforcements now. Okay. So our reinforcements will arrive here in the eventual times. Will we arrive fast enough to hold it this time? The answer is no. We will not. We're trickling in, and it takes us so long to get there. Okay, everybody in here. We need to push them out fast. Before their reinforcements arrive, ideally. Okay. There we go. That's more what we wanted to see. So these guys come in. These guys aren't going to. They're going to hold this position. Now we are going to hopefully build land forts here, since we apparently need that. Hello, pause menu. Okay. Come on, reinforcements. They take so long to get there, but they're almost there. Okay. They're arriving. He's going to give up this attack. Surely. Okay. We held it. That's great. Now we're starting to work on land forts there. So that land fort is going to take about 4 days to build. That's not very long. Not very long at all. So we're going to get one land fort level built there, and once we have that, I don't expect to lose this again. Now, we did end up losing a unit, and that was a tank unit. Okay, we're going to send a tank unit from our reserves. And we have another tank unit that's almost done training. So that'll be fine, and let's check in here at how we're doing on our tanks. 312. Okay. Well, it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to see if we can continue our offensive at all. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Ken2Win, Jensgram, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.